little bit. 6:34 and new this morning. Right now, Linn County law enforcement's on the lookout for an inmate who didn't return to jail after work release yesterday. 57-year-old Dino Timothy Woods was supposed to be back at 5 last night. He's serving a 60-day sentence for contempt of court. He's described as a black male sitting at 5'6", weighing 185 pounds. If you know where he is or you see him, call the Linn County Sheriff or CRPD. Their phone numbers are right here on the screen, or you can also find them for later use on our website, cbs2iowa.com. All the wait is over. Thousands of confidential documents linked to the assassination of President John F. Kennedy are now out. The National Archives posted most of those documents online last night. Many are just memos from the late 60s, but not everything was revealed. Under pressure from the CIA and FBI, President Trump blocks the release of hundreds of sensitive pages. He's given the agencies 6 months to review them. We've placed links to the documents for you to check out yourself on our website, cbs2iowa.com, even on our free app so you can do it on the go. Just search KJN CBS 2. Travelers, both foreign and American, heading into the U.S. on international flights will now need to get to the airport a little earlier. New security measures are in place, and they include a closer look at all electronics. Many airlines are also now conducting interviews with all passengers as part of a check-in process. The strict procedures apply to all U.S.-bound flights. They're aimed at stopping the threat of hidden explosives. The rules replace the temporary carry-on laptop ban imposed for planes coming from airports in 8 predominantly Muslim countries. That ban was lifted in July after the U.S. instituted new security requirements and gave airlines 120 days to comply. With that deadline now up, airlines say passengers should arrive early and expect delays. The House of Representatives cleared the way to fast-track tax reform, but barely. The House passed a budget resolution that allows the Senate to approve legislation with a simple majority instead of the 60 votes usually needed. It was a narrow victory, 216 to 212. 20 Republicans crossed the aisle to join Democrats opposing the bill. House Republicans are expected to unveil the text of that tax reform bill next week. To help combat the opioid crisis, Walgreens is starting to stock Narcan across the nation. Narcan is used to counteract the effects of an opioid overdose. The drugstore plans to stock the drug as a nasal spray in all of its pharmacies nationwide. Walgreens has more than 8,000 pharmacies in the U.S. Right now, that drug can be sold without prescription in 45 states, including right here in Iowa. Walgreens leaders say they want to work with the remaining 5 states to make that life-saving drug easier to get there, too. At the same time, the drugstore says it's shutting down 600 locations. That decision comes as the company wraps up a deal to buy nearly 2,000 stores from Rite Aid, their rival. Most of the closings will be Rite Aid locations within a mile of another company store. Iowa City hit a major milestone in the recovery from the floods of '08. The city says it's now bought its 100th property in a plan to reduce future flooding. Since 2008, the city received more than $25 million to buy and demolish houses and other buildings in the floodplain and turn them into public green space instead. The program's voluntary, not forcing any homeowners to participate. Also in Iowa City, students in the drama department at City High are using a fall production of Charlotte's Web to give back. A portion of the money collected from all 4 shows will go to hurricane relief. The department hopes to raise $1,000 to help in recovery efforts in Puerto Rico. The first evening showing of Charlotte's Web is November 3rd at 7:30. We have a list of other showtimes on our website, cbs2iowa.com, and we do have an update just in on the number of deaths because of Hurricane Maria. That number is now at 51. Employers and employees from across the corridor are coming together today in support of our LGBTQ community. CBS 2 News reporter Joe Huizinga tells us why inclusion is so important for everyone involved.
Creating an equality-focused workplace is a crucial conversation.
When we see LGBTQ individuals who are out and open and able to bring their authentic self to the workplace, they're more productive, they have greater job satisfaction, and they're going to stay in that position longer. So not only is it the right thing to do, but it also makes complete business sense.
It's also a growing factor in recruiting top talent to the workforce.
Nowadays, students or interns that are looking for jobs in the workplace are paying attention to the amount of efforts companies are taking to be inclusive.
According to One Iowa, less than half of LGBTQ individuals are fully open about their orientation or gender identity at work. The Municipal Equality Index shows Iowa cities rank far ahead of the national average in LGBTQ issues. They also track equality on a corporate level.
We try to use the Corporate Equality Index as a roadmap to the way that companies can move forward and progress and be more inclusive for their employees.
It's one of many tools helping companies and workers continue the conversation and move forward together.
Not everyone's ever going to feel completely welcome or feel comfortable coming out at work, but it's really about the culture that we're creating so that it's inclusive enough for people to feel comfortable.
Joe Huizinga reporting. One Iowa recently unveiled its 10-step toolkit to help employers tackle equality issues in the workplace. You can find a link to that on our website, cbs2iowa.com. Right now, high school students are taking on a serious issue in Cedar Rapids. CBS 2 News reporter Tasha Woods shows us how the kids are researching about the homeless problem and how city resources are used in the community to shelter them.
Homelessness is a problem that's not going away anytime soon, so Iowa Big students are partnering with the Willis-Dady Homeless Shelter to better understand what's needed financially to help.
We wanted to really get a better picture of what are the costs to the community.
Specifically during the cold winter months.
People are subject to frostbite, literally dying on the streets.
For the past 2 years, a coalition of providers have come together to operate the Community Overflow Weather Shelter System. It's only open during the cold winter months, and its location changes.
It's been in different locations, and we are just trying to solidify right now a spot where we can be the whole winter.
Iowa Big student Olivia Christensen is leading the project.
This is probably one of the hardest struggles anybody could go through.
Her team is collecting data from jails and hospitals to find out how many homeless people are admitting themselves just to get out of the cold.
Our hope is, based on what the data shows, to put together a better option than the use of high expense crisis services.
So this is really, I think, an empowering situation for students where they know that they can solve problems that actually exist.
Christensen says ultimately her goal is to help more people move from temporary to more permanent housing.
I feel like if they can make it through this, once we get them back on their feet, they can support themselves in a stable and healthy way.
It's important that we see all aspects of our community. You know, this is our community, and we are in this together.
Tasha Woods reporting. The students are collecting data throughout the winter season, and the Overflow Weather Shelter System opens from November 15th until March. It's now 6:42. Let's take a look at what we're working on for Fox 28 Morning Live for you. Going to the World Series is a big deal for any team, but for a classroom full of Astros fans, it means much more. Plus, all good things must come to an end. Jerry will be with us in studio to show us how to put our roses to bed. That's coming up on Fox 28 Morning Live. Eastern Iowa's only local news at 7 a.m.